Join us as we explore some of the most intriguing and innovative woodworking joints, from the classics to the cutting edge. Discover the incredible artistry and craftsmanship that goes into creating these joints and learn how they can be used to create furniture, buildings, and even bridges. Whether you are a woodworking enthusiast or simply curious about the wonders of this timeless craft, this video is sure to captivate and inspire. Number 8. Scissor Joint. The scissor joint, also known as the double-faced half-rabbeted oblique scarf splice in timber farming, is a remarkable two-way interlocking scarf joint that offers both strength and visual appeal. This joint can be used vertically or horizontally and serves decorative, structural, and supporting purposes. To create a scissor joint, start by marking the length, diagonal cuts, and center line on the top and bottom sides of the splice. Proceed to mark all the parts that need to be cut, ensuring both pieces are identical. Utilize a Japanese saw, such as a Ryoba saw, to make the necessary cuts for the scissor joint. The joint consists of two precisely fitting pieces of wood that overlap and interlock on the same plane. Once all the pieces are cut, assemble the joint by sliding one piece into the other and applying firm pressure to join them tightly. For added strength and to secure the joint, consider using mechanical fasteners or adhesive. By following these steps, you can achieve a strong, visually appealing scissor joint that will enhance both the structural integrity and aesthetic value of your timber framing project. Number 7. Finger-jointed bow. A finger-jointed bow is a woodworking project that involves creating a bow with a decorative finger-jointed rim. The joint is made by interlocking the fingers of two or more pieces of wood, creating a strong and attractive rim for the bow. In this video, the finger-jointed bow is made using a lathe and a series of jigs. The wood is first cut into strips and then glued together to create a block of wood. The block is then mounted on the lathe and turned to create the bow shape. Once the bow shape is complete, the jigs are used to guide the router as it cuts the finger-jointed rim. The rim is made by cutting a series of interlocking fingers in the wood, ensuring that each finger is perfectly spaced and sized. Once the fingers have been cut, the pieces of wood are fitted together, creating a strong and attractive joint. The joint can then be sanded and finished to create a smooth and polished surface. Number 6. Kawai Tsugite three-way joint. The clever three-way joint, also known as a triple lap joint, is a woodworking joint that is used to join three pieces of wood together at a right angle. The joint is created by using three overlapping notches in each of the three pieces of wood. When the pieces are fitted together, the notches interlock, creating a strong and stable joint. In this video, the clever three-way joint is made using a table saw and a cross-cut sled. The sled is used to guide the wood as it is cut, ensuring that the cuts are precise and straight. To create the joint, the wood is first marked with the desired size and location of the notches. The sled is then set up to match these measurements, and the wood is clamped in place. The saw is then used to make a series of cuts along the length of the wood, creating overlapping notches. Once the notches have been cut, the three pieces of wood are fitted together. The notches interlock, creating a strong and stable joint. The joint can then be glued and clamped together to ensure a secure bond. Number 5. Castle joint. To create an interlocking three-way castle joint, start by marking the vertical lines on the wood piece to be cut. Ensure the measurements are consistent on all sides. Then, mark the horizontal lines with the distance from the top matching the width of the horizontal wood pieces. Proceed to make the cuts using a Japanese saw for the brittle joint and a coping saw for the cutoffs. Use a coping saw to remove bulk material from the joint's center. Clean the sides and surfaces with a sharp chisel. Next, cut the tenons in the horizontal parts by marking the areas for vertical cuts. Finally, create the cross-lap joint on the tenons, with the depth equal to half the width of the horizontal piece. With all pieces cut, assemble the castle joint by sliding one horizontal piece into the tower piece, ensuring the socket faces upwards. Slide the second horizontal piece in with the socket facing downwards, causing the horizontal pieces to overlap and interlock at a 90-degree angle. A well-executed joint will result in a snug fit. providing both strength and aesthetic appeal. Number 4. Pillar Splice Joint. The pillar splice joint shown in this video is used in the construction of the Otemon Gate of Osaka Castle in Japan. This joint is also called the four-way interlocking splice joint and is designed to provide a strong and stable connection between two wooden beams. To create the joint, the end of two wooden beams are first cut at an angle using a handsaw. The angle of the cut is carefully calculated to ensure a precise and tight fit between the two beams. Next, a series of interlocking teeth are cut into the angled ends of the wooden beams. These teeth are designed to interlock with each other, creating a strong and stable connection between the two beams. Once the teeth are cut, the two wooden beams are fitted together to create the joint. The teeth interlock with each other, creating a connection that is both strong and stable. The pillar splice joint is commonly used in traditional Japanese architecture and is known for its strength and durability. It requires a high level of skill and precision to create, as each tooth must be carefully cut to fit perfectly with the corresponding tooth on the other beam. Number 3. Timber Framing Scarf Joint. The timber framing scarf joint is a woodworking joint that is commonly used in traditional timber frame construction. The joint is used to join two or more pieces of timber together end to end to create a longer beam. The scarf joint is made by cutting angled surfaces on the end of the timber pieces so that they fit together with a large gluing area. To make the timber framing scarf joint, the timber pieces are first marked with the desired length and angle of the joint. The angle is typically around 45 degrees, but it can vary depending on the application. Once marked, the timber pieces are then cut with a combination of a circular saw and hand saws to create the angled surfaces on the end of the timber. The surfaces are then cleaned up with chisels to ensure a precise fit. The two timber pieces are then fitted together, ensuring that the angled surfaces fit together perfectly to create a large gluing area. Once the joint is fitted, it can be glued and clamped together to ensure a strong and stable bond. Number 2. Twin Mortise and Tenon Joint. The Japanese twin mortise and tenon joint with sword-tip mitre is a unique woodworking joint that is commonly used in traditional Japanese architecture. The joint is designed to provide a strong and stable connection between two wooden pieces while also allowing some flexibility and movement. The joint is made using a combination of hand tools and power tools. The wood pieces are first cut to size and then notched using a chisel to create the mortise and tenon joints. Next, a sword-tip mitre is cut into the ends of the wood pieces using a handsaw. This creates a precise and angled cut that allows the wood pieces to fit together tightly and securely. Once the joints and mitre are cut, the wood pieces are dry fit together to ensure a tight and secure connection. The joints are then glued and clamped together to create a strong and stable joint. Number 1. Table leg combo joint. The table leg combo joint shown in the video is a woodworking joint used to connect a table leg to a table apron. This joint is designed to provide a strong and stable connection that can withstand the weight and pressure placed on the table. To create the joint, a series of cuts are made in both the table leg and apron using a combination of hand tools and power tools. The first cut is a mortise, which is made in the table leg using a chisel or router. This mortise is designed to fit the tenon that will be cut in the table apron. The second cut is a dado, which is made in the table apron using a table saw or router. This dado is designed to fit the tongue that will be cut into the table leg. Once the mortise and dado are cut, a tongue is cut in the table leg using a table saw or router. This tongue is designed to fit into the dado in the table apron. Next, the tenon is cut in the table apron using a table saw or router. This tenon is designed to fit into the mortise in the table leg. Finally, the tongue on the table leg is glued into the dado in the table apron, and the tenon on the table apron is glued into the mortise in the table leg. This creates a strong and stable connection between the table leg and the apron. Subscribe.